I'm a huge believer in taking advantage of all the free writing resources when it comes to advancing your writing craft. That's why in today's video, I'm going to give you my 6 favorite sources that have helped me in my writing journey. Hi friends, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley if this is your first time here, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. If you are new here or just discovering my channel, I'm a writer who is working on her debut novel that is scheduled to be released this fall. I'm so thrilled to be publishing my work, and today I want to highlight the sources that have pushed me along my way and helped me get this far in the journey. First things first, let's talk about my favorite way to consume writing content, and that is podcast. One of the first writing podcasts that I listened to at the beginning of my journey is Fiction Writing Made Easy, hosted by Savannah Gilbo. Savannah Gilbo is a development editor and she is a book coach. The one thing that I love about this podcast is that it offers actionable steps that allows you to start incorporating the teachings into your writing almost immediately. One of my favorite features of this podcast is the first chapter of analysis, and that's where Savannah and usually another author discuss the first chapter of really popular books. And within this discussion, she highlights the things that make these popular books addicting and bingeable and just makes you want to continue reading and to not put it down. So it's really cool to see her advice shine through some of the most popular books that we consume from some of our favorite authors. This is a podcast that I highly recommend if you're just getting started in your writing journey and you're looking for the perfect place to start. The next podcast that I'm going to speak about is one that I'm completely obsessed with, and it's called Turning to Story, and it's hosted by Lisa Mia Smith and Anna Mercier. Both of these ladies are writers, and when this podcast started, they were in different sections of their writing career. Lisa Mia Smith is a published author, and I had the opportunity to meet her at a Polycon, which is actually where I heard about this podcast, but she had just released, I think within the year, her debut novel, Reveal, which is inspired by Moulin Rouge. And Anna Mercier, I believe she had an agent, but she was working on getting her manuscript together so that it could start to be shopped around and picked up for publishing. There's so many things that I absolutely love about this podcast. First and foremost, the hosts are funny and extremely relatable, and it just feels like you're in conversation with a group of friends. The advice that they give really makes you think about the craft of writing and how you can just build and strengthen that craft. I also really like that they don't put this pressure on being a fast writer and getting out as many books as you possibly can, but they really lean into honoring your own timeline and the many hats of life that you wear, and just it being okay if you write a little bit slower than most people. One of my favorite things about this podcast is their hashtag Team Curiosity mindset. The bookish community, it's really easy to find the popular books that people like and pick them apart. But what this podcast does really well is they take those popular books from Book Talk and Bookstagram and they read it and they deconstruct it to find out what's going on in these books that makes them unputdownable or extremely bingeable that readers just want to fly through. They figure out what those popular books do to make you stay up way past your bedtime to finish them, or binge through a 4-book series that's already been completed because you just had to know what happens next. And I really enjoy that. I think it's so special, and since I've been writing, I've tried to adopt that mindset that, you know, there's a reason why these books are popular. It may not be the most beautiful prose and the sentence structure may not be perfect, but there's something in that book that is hooking readers and making them want more and making them continue to read over and over again. I would highly recommend Turning to Story if you are looking for a podcast that will help you understand the craft of writing. Next, let's chat about the amazing resources that I've been able to find here on YouTube. First up is Abby Emmons. I'm not sure when or how I stumbled across her page, but once I started consuming her content, I couldn't stop myself. Abby is also another author, and she has a podcast that she hosts with her sister, and it's also about writing. Her videos are absolutely amazing. Not only is she a queen of editing, but she breaks down writing techniques that are actionable. She gives you the steps to achieve what she's actually teaching and showing you. And it's just extremely engaging content. My favorite thing about her channel is that she often puts her teachings to the test in real time. I've seen videos where she's taken a list of tropes and she's plotted out an entire book right there within a 15-minute video. And you see the formula that she uses when it comes to writing and how she applies it no matter what type of story you're writing. And I just think it's a testament to the craft that she's teaching and the steps and instructions that she's showing that you're able to almost apply it to any story you write. I definitely believe that Abby Emmons' channel is a great place to start if you're just getting started and you're looking for actionable information to put into practice immediately. I absolutely love learning more about the writing craft. If you're a writer and you're watching this video and you have any resources that you would like to share, please drop them down in the comments below. Also, I plan to continue making writing videos on this channel. If there's a specific writing topic that you would like to hear me talk more about, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Now, the next creator that I'm going to talk about is someone who played a huge role in my writing career and just getting started. Her name is Sarah Cannon, and she actually has 2 YouTube channels here on YouTube. The first one being Sarah Cannon, where she talks about her author journey, and it's more about like her books, and she has like a weekly coffee chat there where she talks about, you know, where she's at in her writing and gives updates on her personal life. But she also has a channel and it's called Heart Breathings, and on this channel she shares her writing journey, she gives writing tips, and she also talks about planning and stationery, all things that I absolutely love. I personally found her Heart Breathings channel in the fall of 2021 when I was preparing for NaNoWriMo. She was doing her annual series that she used to do called Preptober, which basically just helps you ramp up for the madness that is the month of NaNoWriMo and writing 50,000 words in 1 month. I don't think NaNoWriMo is a thing anymore, but at that time, all writers, wannabe writers, they were participating in that activity. Her videos preparing for NaNoWriMo were so pivotal and monumental for me at the time because it helped me learn to plan and plot my story so that whenever I started, I was able to just sit down and follow the roadmap of my outline. Also, having all of this stuff together before I actually sat down and started writing gave me the confidence to keep going and just push my story forward and not look back or around or wonder what was going to come next. The one thing that I really love about Sarah's content is that she shares everything about the writing process. She is very honest and upfront about the successes and the struggles of her writing career and just being a writer in general, but pushing through and believing what is meant to be will be. She's a very successful writer. I think she has like 20 books out. I don't know, it's a huge number, but she's been writing for so long. I will forever be grateful for the content that she provides for free because it has helped get me to the point that I'm at right now. I would highly recommend checking out her channel, Heart Breathings, and the playlist that she has if you want to get started with writing, but you need a little bit of extra hand holding. Last but not least, I wanted to highlight 2 books that I've listened to over the course of my writing journey. The first book being Romancing the Beat by Gwen. In this book, she talks about the structure and kind of gives a step-by-step guide on writing a romance novel and hitting certain beats to make sure your story clicks together. While this book lays out a specific formula for romance, the main reason why I'm bringing it up today because it's important to note that every genre has a formula. Find the formula for the genre that you are writing in and try to master it. These formulas are typically tried and true, and they are what makes the stories that we consume bingeable. The next book I want to highlight is Intuitive Editing by Tiffany Yates Martin. Tiffany is a professional editor, and the book does exactly what it advertises. It teaches you how to edit your book yourself. One of the biggest lessons learned in my writing journey is to lean into the free content that is available and do as much work as you can yourself. This book teaches the technique to learn how to edit your own drafts and continue to push your story forward. The book isn't saying that you don't need a professional editor, because you do, but it's simply helping you get the story to the point where you actually can sit and say, I've done everything that I can. I don't know how much more I can change. Now it's time for me to pay somebody to do an edit and give me feedback that I might not have noticed myself because I'm so close to the work. Let me give you a real life example. I paid for edits and critiques very early on, much earlier than I probably should have. If I would have just dug a little bit deeper, I would have found and learned that all I needed to do was let my story breathe, come back and read it, make notes, make corrections, rinse and repeat. Yes, there's a technique to editing and she goes into great detail within this book, but that's pretty much the gist of it. There's so much you can do before you actually have to hire someone and bring them in. But I will say it again, you still need a professional edit. I would highly recommend this book if you're finishing your first draft and you don't really know what to do with it, where to go, and how to start. This is the perfect book for that. If you have made it this far in the video, leave me the little handwriting emoji in the description box below. I will be sure to list all of the accounts and resources that I mentioned in this video so that you're able to find them and follow them and consume their content. If you liked the information provided in this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe for more content from me, and if you think any of this information would be helpful to somebody that you know, make sure you give it a share. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!